Hi, welcome back to Inspire and Teach, your friendly mentor, helping educators achieve success one step at a time. It's your girl AD, and on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the top 7 tips on building strong relationships. I do have a list, so if you see me looking down, it's because I don't want to forget anything. Tip number 1, say their name. Names are unique and important to an individual. When you mispronounce an individual's name, it strips them of their identity. So it's important that you know how to pronounce and say all of your students' names correctly. I make it a duty to make sure when I call my families in the beginning of the year, if it's not a common name or a name that I've never heard of before, I ask them, how do you pronounce or say your child's name? Then I practice saying that name to myself to familiarize myself with my student's name. In the classroom, if I'm still not feeling comfortable, all I do is ask my student. I would say, how do you pronounce or say your name? And then I make sure to call on them a lot so that I'm familiarizing myself with their name, or just say their name in my head so that I know how to say their name. You want to make sure that you know how to do this. It's the first step in building a strong relationship. You can't have a relationship if you don't know how to pronounce your student's name. You just can't. Like, if someone was to pronounce your name incorrectly, would you respond to them? No. I mean, there are people who say, that's not how you say my name. My name is blah, blah, blah. Then you'll meet some people who would say, who wouldn't respond to you at all. So please practice saying students' names that you are not familiar with. Also, you want to refrain from giving a nickname right away just because you can't say a student's name. I've been that teacher, and I've seen teachers who just assign a nickname to a student only just because they can't say their name. It only satisfies you. It actually does harm to that student and to your relationship. And also, nicknames are something that are personal and intimate. You should learn how to pronounce the child's name. And then when your relationship is a little bit stronger, you should ask them, would you prefer to be called by a nickname or by your original name? If the child prefers to be called by a nickname, the child should choose that nickname that they would like to be called by. So never assign a nickname. Please give them that choice to either use a nickname or to either use their original name. That shows that you value them. Tip number 2, acknowledgement. Have you ever had a student or just someone in your life who always asks, do you like my hair? Do you like my nails? Do you like my shoes? If you've ever heard those questions, it's because they want you to acknowledge them. Humans want to be acknowledged. They want to be seen, and they want to be shouted out. The way I think about acknowledgement is in 2 categories. The first one is external, your physical appearance, external acknowledgement, right? And then your internal acknowledgement, things that your strengths, your values, something that you don't really see right away. I make it my duty to make sure I notice one thing about every student in my classroom, whether that's external or internal. Let me give you an example. Right after a long weekend, kids come in with new hairstyles, new shoes, new materials, and maybe even a missing tooth. I make sure I say that. Like, wow, Cameron, I'm loving the haircut, looking real sharp. Oh, wow, Alexia, you are missing a tooth. Oh my goodness, tell me all about it. Those are the physical things. Now, here comes the internal, something that you can't really see right away. For instance, let's say Alex has been working on finger spacing in his writing. And today you finally notice that Alex has finger spaces between his words. So you go up to Alex and you tell Alex, I noticed that you've been working so hard on your finger spacing, and I see that You have finger spaces in your writing. That means your readers can read your work. You should be super proud of yourself. High five, Alex. Shout him out. You just acknowledged him. That's acknowledgement. Yes. You just acknowledge him for what he's been working so hard on. Children need to hear that from you. They need it. So, another thing that I do is I make it a point to share and showcase all student work. Not just the students that have a higher skill set, but all student work. This year, my grade team has a bulletin board, and on the bulletin board, there is a space for each student so that each student can be recognized within the classroom community. You should try it. Tip number 3, respect. Respect is a two-way street. You used to hear, oh, it's my way or the highway. The teacher is the head of the classroom, we're the boss. No, these are little humans that you're dealing with. So you do need to show respect in order to gain respect. They're not just going to respect you right away. I mean, there are some cultures where, yes, respect is right off the bat given to you. But no, you got to work for this. So you need to respect students' choices and their feelings, okay? And you need to observe and listen. You're not going to gain any traction in building a relationship if you do not give students their space, okay? As long as their choices and feelings do not affect anyone else, give them that time and space. If a student needs to calm down, respect them enough to give them the choice to choose how they want to calm down. Don't choose it for them. Maybe they need a break. Maybe they need to put their head down. Maybe they need to get out the classroom for 2 minutes. Respect that choice. When you're feeling upset or have a strong emotion, we get to choose, so why can't they choose? When you respect someone, it shows that you love and care for them and that you value them. So validate your students, listen to them, and respect them. Tip number 4, spend one-on-one time with students. Now I know you're probably like, what time do we have to do this? But I promise you, there is time built in your schedule, and that time, yes, I know, it's coming from your prep time. However, if you really want to build a strong relationship with your students, this is the work that you need to put in to get the result that you want. So here's what I would do. I would make a tracker, and I would put the students' names on it on the left side, and then across days of the week, and then my free blocks. So lunch, snack, recess, choice time. And it doesn't have to be an exhaustive amount of time. For instance, let's say Rob. During snack time, I'm going to put on Monday, I'm going to spend 3 minutes with Rob, checking in with Rob, or just talking about something that Rob loves to do. It could be anything. You could chat. You could play a quick rock, paper, scissors game with Rob, sketch, do art with Rob, something 3 to 5 minutes to show that you are interested in what Rob has to say. Spending one-on-one time is crucial for building a strong relationship. It's like that in everything we do. If you want a strong relationship with your partner, you have to spend time with them. I mean, how else would you build a relationship if you're not spending time? So spend that time with your students. Have an organized system, like I just told you about, to do that. And you'll realize that in one day, you can actually spend time with at least 2 to 3 students. Okay, tip number 5, share stories. You are not a robot. Yes, we're teachers. Yes, we're here to help them learn. But you're also human, and they need to see that side of you. You need to share your story, okay? Like, share things that spark their interest. Could make a connection. For me, it's easy for me because I use my children. I have 3 children, and my children play some of the same games that they do. I take them to the playground, so it's easy to share a story. with them. I use my children as a hook. For you, if you don't have children, that's okay. I'm not saying you need children, by the way. You can use anything in your life that has a strong emotion that would make a connection and spark your students' interest. Hiking, riding your bike, swimming. We all have stories. Just get a story and share with them. And it's so easy to share during writing time, during science times. Anytime you can share a story. You want to be relatable. That's the key word, relatable. Okay, so tip number 6, be vulnerable. This connects to sharing stories. Like I said before, you're human. They need to see that human side of you, okay? They need to know that I have someone in my corner. Someone that's gonna, laugh with me, cry with me, do those things. When I was started teaching years ago, the phrase that they told me, the saying or the quote, they told me, don't smile until winter break. And you know what? I actually took their advice and I didn't smile until winter break. And guess what? It was stupid. Stupid. Like, are you serious? We're not at war with our children. I did not walk into a war zone. They're not troops. Why am I not smiling? Oh my goodness, get rid of that. Throw that in the garbage. If someone tells you don't smile until winter break, they do not have your best interest at heart. No, you smile the first second you meet that kid in your classroom. Yes, greet them, smile with them. Come on. You are their teacher. You are not their sergeant. Please do not listen to that advice. All right? Our children need us to be relatable in everything that we do. So smile. It's okay to voice how you're feeling in front of your children. I encourage you to voice how you're feeling in front of your children. Please do. Please voice how you're feeling. You don't have to yell at anyone. It's just voice how you feel. There are times when I told my children, my students, right now I feel disappointed because XYZ. It's okay. If you treat them like what they are, which are little humans, you'll be surprised how much of a connection you build. Last but not least, tip number 7, actions speak louder than words. As a teacher, I have found out that my tone and my body language sends a message to my students. And if you don't want a negative message being sent to your students, it is imperative that you watch your tone and how your physical appearance comes off to them. For example, there was a time, it was during choice time, and I just wanted to be left alone. I had a very stressful day, and I had personal things going on, and I was just sitting in my chair, and I just wanted to breathe, right? One of my students comes up to me and starts talking about something that they were doing and in their house and all these other stuff. And I was like, okay, just great. Just go back to your seat. Like, yeah, I don't care. And not even realizing that I just ignored my student, and I totally disregarded anything that student had to say. And that student felt bad, and that student really came up to me and said, I felt like you didn't care. And I had to explain, I had to apologize. I'm so sorry that I made you feel that way. And it's all about checking your tone and your body language in that moment, because you don't want to ever send a message to a kid that they're not important, that they don't matter. The message should be that you are important and that you matter. It's okay to, if you are feeling stressed, which there are going to be some times where you do, it is okay to let your students know, I need a moment. Is it okay if I take this moment? I just need a moment to recoup and get back to my original self. And you'll be surprised your kids will give you grace, because children are innocent and pure. They will give you grace. They will give you your moment. Okay? So if you follow all of these tips, you are on your way to building strong relationships. If you have any other ideas on how you build relationships in your classroom, go ahead and drop it in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, and I'll see you on the next episode.